sometimes you got to go look at yourself and go, I'm ready to relinquish this.
I'm one of them people, hey, you got to give a man a day in court.
The underlining of all of it is authenticity, right?
She's making them money, so they gonna put the camera on her because she's paid.
I think the prize is the other person. We have not integrated in the United States. Start buying some of the things that we have to offer. Then we will see a difference in how we act as Black people. Oh man, we're having a special show tonight. Welcome to Rebranders. My name is Anthony Goodson. We've got our co-host minus Helen on right now. We wanted to certainly come on and talk about what's going on in the world today, right here in the United States, New York City, more specific. But hey, before we get started, let's go ahead and say thank you to everyone who watched and viewed and commented last night, and those who were on the show, Kevin Woodson. We apologize. George Wallace didn't make it. We will make that up with you guys later. We don't know exactly what happened, but we'll get to the bottom of it. That will be changed. But anyway.
I just want to say George Wallace stood us up like Viagra in a nursing home. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We do what we can on this thing. You know, those comments made by Ace are not, indicative of the views and feelings of the rest of Rebranders. But anyway, so Trump is guilty. That's what we're coming to talk to you guys about today. Donald Trump is guilty. Now listen, we can have very unbiased opinions about this. And I think, hey Tasha, what's going on? We can have very unbiased opinions about this, but I think we should talk about it. Rebranders is rebranding the United States.
Yeah,
that's right. For one, I'm not for nor am I against Donald Trump. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I don't care if he wins president or not. I'm gonna vote. I have an opinion, but I don't necessarily express it here because I don't see either one of our candidates being very strong. Nevertheless, now we have a president former president who has been convicted and is now a convicted felon. Yep. And that has never happened before. This is a very interesting conversation. I want y'all to know how historic this is. What's funny is he can continue to run for president, and yet he cannot vote for himself. So,
wow.
Tell me how y'all think about this. Let's go to the comments first. Kirby said, okay, I was going to join on this day of Trump, increase popularity, lead in the race. Hey, listen, this is not a Kirby? Trump action from me. We'll see how this goes.
Kirby, unfortunately, you're right. I'm like Goodson, I'm not for or against, but I will say this. What happens from this moment forward, America is under the microscope of the world. And what I say about that is because you have all the people who the justice system works. The justice system works. Now you can't switch over now and say it doesn't work when it just comes to Trump. So if it works, it works. And so America's under the microscope right now.
For me, I hate to get behind the train and say I'm not for or against. If I had to pick one of the two, y'all probably don't want to know who I'd pick.
Right, that part.
He's a convicted felon. Take a guess.
But,
so but I'm still not for or against. I don't wish. Yeah. Both of them.
And I'm not for or against either. But I do want the rules to change. Because if you could be a convicted felon and run for president, how come you can't be a convicted felon and vote?
Or be a convicted felon and get a really good paying job or a decent job, or be able to move into a nice
That's
house.
all I'm saying.
Or get get some good affordable housing, because that these different programs, they don't allow felons to partake in, let's say, like Section 8 or the affordable housing stuff. They don't they don't take felons either. So I agree with that 100%.
So the rules go back to what Anthony said. It goes back to what Anthony said at the beginning. You can't have this with that, and this is where it's gonna happen. But again, we're at Rebranders, and we also know that we're still here in these days.
All right, I think I pulled up the correct video of Donald Trump's speech afterwards. Let's watch that for a minute.
Let's watch it.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. Mm-hmm. They know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration.
I love that.
Wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win. Because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists. They're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
He seemed like he might be a little bit mad.
A little bit. You know what my favorite part was? When he said, I'm a very innocent man. Remember we were just talking about yesterday what stupid things people say? You either innocent or what's very innocent? What does that mean?
Hey. Anyway, look here, Donald Trump was found guilty on all 34 charges. Again, there's two others that he had. He had to go through Florida. Florida, he had 3, I believe, and 3 counts. Yeah. And then, of course, he got to go through Georgia. A lot is going on with this, but what we do know is he can still run for president. I think they're going to have they're going to, what's it called when they give you your time on the 11th? Sentencing. That's going to be on the 11th. They call it sentencing, but I don't think he's going to prison. Right now, he's out on bond, though. He's out on bail or on bond right now. So, you know, it's not like he's going to jail, and unfortunately, they actually think that maybe he's going to Florida right now, so he can kind of fly around the country as he so pleased. But I don't know exactly what this means. I don't know if we're rebranding the U.S. I don't know if this has anything at all. I don't even know if he's going to prison for this. It may be a huge fine.
Everything changes. You got to because all the rules. So, does he still get Secret Service?
Yeah.
Life? Does the felony strip him of that?
Well, he's still the former president of the United States. That's what I'm saying.
So how did the rule work? Or if he put it's crazy.
Hey, think about this. You know how people complain about we're paying for them to do this for this and this and that. This dude's a convicted felon. You know, our taxes pay for him to have that security.
Yeah. Right.
So we're paying for a convicted felon to have security, and I got an uncle that's a convicted felon. He ain't got none.
Now let's go to the comments real quick. So I want to look at something that
we don't like Diddy either. Kirby
says Yashika, don't take this the wrong way, but it's not a happy day that this is where we are in this country. If Diddy, now this is a question: how did Diddy come about?
Because just real quick, Kirby, let's run the camera back. Let's run the tape back because I don't think I said it was a happy day. So let's be real careful because if you heard me before, if I said if I had to pick one, I already told you which one I picked. So I get to smile and laugh when I get good and ready. Okay. If I want to smile and I want to laugh, I get to do that. That doesn't mean it's a happy day. And however you feel about Trump is how you feel. How I feel is how I feel. That's why we're on a podcast because we have different feelings, and our people that come on, they have different feelings. So however you feel is how you feel. But if I choose to be happy, that's what I choose to do. Me.
And for me, like I said from the beginning, I have no feelings one way or another. Especially when you start looking at Joe Biden, if you're looking at the presidency, that's one thing that we're looking at. But when we're looking at the individual, now I have a different feeling. Just the individual. This is not a political thing for me. This is the individual. Donald Trump. Let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about Donald Trump. 1988, 89.
85.
5 young men went to prison, New York City, for something they did not do. And we know they didn't do. We know they didn't do. And then on top of that, something was put on the front page of the New York Times saying that we need to institute the death penalty to kill these young men.
That's right.
Innocent. Now we got this. This was put on the front page of the newspaper before trial even started, right? Mm-hmm. So they were convicted by this one individual by the name of Donald Trump. I say all of the things that were, the chicken are coming home to roost. Your sins are starting to catch up to you.
And if you want to watch, if you want to see how it went down, go to Netflix. It's on Netflix. Those boys' whole story is on Netflix.
Well, I know this about here. So Kirby said,
Kirby.
Let's say this. I think Donald Trump is guilty. Let's be honest. 34 counts of his own peers, not people like me and Ace.
It wasn't me. I wasn't there. Yeah.
Not us. There were peers in New York City. According to CNN, according to NBC, and according to Fox, the jury were people like Donald Trump. These were businessmen, lawyers, doctors, people of the higher echelon of money and finance and all this other stuff. So it wasn't a black jury, it wasn't a female jury, a Mexican jury. It was a jury of his peers.
His peers, that's right.
So, and I'm not even sure what the affiliation was politically, but this was a jury of his own peers. So this was not a target against the political side of Donald Trump, right? Now, I feel like I'm talking a lot. I'll let y'all get to do the rest. Hey,
T.
What's
up, T?
What's up, T? I honestly, I thought about the Central Park 5 with that, and definitely, I'm not one of those karma kind of people, anything like that. I'm just one of those people like, hey, keep the same energy,
Perfect. There.
And it's like,
that's it.
The FBI and whoever else investigate is the top investigating in the world. Mm-hmm. These are the same people who took down, gangsters of the past and other political figures and find out the secrets. So, I mean, the FBI is who did, investigated along with these other people. And once again, like I said, I tell you what, when things happen, we get angry, but like people say, the system is the system. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, let's say it doesn't work and it's corrupt. But then when we say it doesn't work and it's corrupt, we have to go in reverse and think about all these other folks who everybody know they're guilty, because if it works, it works.
Right. And for me, I think we need to focus on the person and what they did. Like we talked about Diddy a few weeks ago, and other people were brought up. No, we're not talking about them right now. We're talking about Diddy right now, right? And so for today, we can't put Trump and Diddy in the same sentence, because that's not what we're talking about. See, Diddy's not guilty yet. But Trump, as of today, 34 counts. He's Diddy. I mean, he's guilty. What'd you say?
And he's not running for president.
Boom.
Yeah. Well, Kirby, at the end of the day, nobody on this show or you is in that courtroom. Neither of us are legal experts. I mean, right now, us including you, we're all going off information that we get the same way. We listen to the news and we watch TV. We listen to the radio and stuff like that. So obviously, those people in those courtrooms and the judge, a federal United States judge, knows something that we don't know. It's like all we got. Kirby, I'm gonna give you my true feelings. I could care less, because my true feelings is America's gonna vote Trump into office regardless.
Of course,
it's just gonna be.
He just made a comment. He just told you.
Yeah, it's gonna be in a different fashion now. But my only thing is to everybody, it's like I said, the system either works or it doesn't work. That's just point blank. It's nothing it's no gray. It's black or white. It works or it doesn't work.
Hey, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Kirby got beef with me, I think.
Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Now, if we could bring up Diddy.
I love you, Kirby. Whoever you are, I love you. I'm gonna send you some wine. Send me your address. I'm gonna send you some wine. And you need to calm down.
Yeah, but you know what? I will say this: when they were doing all this stuff to Michael Jackson, whether he was guilty or innocent, I am a Michael Jackson fan. Period. Look at that, Michael Jackson. I am a huge Michael Jackson
fan. He's
the
number 2 fan in the world.
If you say something against Michael Jackson, I will defend Michael Jackson unless it's on tape. And if it's on tape, I still will come up with a defense for Michael Jackson. And that's how America is for Donald Trump. They are huge fans of Donald Trump. Only America. Michael Jackson was used around the world. So was Elvis and Taylor Swift. Only America are they such a big fan of Trump. And that's fine because he lives in America. 50% of these Americans love him. And if you want to defend him, that's fine. I'm not going against him. I just understand how you feel. So I will say, yeah, do what you need to do. Nevertheless, if Michael Jackson was guilty, he was guilty, but I'm still his fan. You got to admit at least that Donald Trump, we wasn't there. We don't know what's going on, but the jury of his peers said what? He is guilty. Simple as that.
34 times.
Hey,
34 times.
Hey, but if we were in Kirby's neighborhood, Kirby be wanting to 34 times. Kirby be like, yeah, you got him. But now all of a sudden it's a different change. No, Kirby, when the judge hit the day and your peers say that's what it is, Kirby, leave it alone, Kirby.
Dietrich,
we love you, Kirby, and we're going to give you
a problem with me.
You
put my name in all caps, didn't he?
Hey, and didn't misspell it.
He didn't. I love that.
Oh, he said, if you saw my neighborhood, we all live in the same kind of neighborhoods too.
Yeah.
Suburbs.
How does this affect America's future? So let's just say, and like I said, my beliefs just based on trends and how it's going, he still will be the next president.
Absolutely.
I mean, just honestly. So how does this affect after his time has passed? How does this affect America now? What limitations can you put on the candidate running for president?
You can't.
Now.
That's
what I was going to ask.
So you got a president now who can pardon himself. And he told you.
So after
I
Trump
want to be the dictator for the rest of my life.
2040, where does America stand?
Well, you know what, Ace, what that's a great question, because once you start stretching the lines of legality and the expectations and your norms start to change, then people start stretching those lines. You know what I'm saying? Like right now we might be here, or at least 30 years ago we were. Now we're here. And then it's getting even further and wider. After Obama became president, I knew eventually we were going to have a woman. Pretty soon we're going to have a woman. We're going to have a Hispanic person be the president. With him, the president being a felon, right? What's next to that? Something deeper is going to come to that. I don't know that anybody going to come out of prison and become a president, but something is to come. So this, there's a domino effect of all the negativity that comes from this. I'd like to say, this is a question that I have for you guys. I was talking to my mom about this earlier today, and so many people dislike Donald Trump. Black people, Democrats, dislike him. Maybe from I won't say that because then it seems like I'm being biased. But I will say, what's the reasoning for people not liking Donald Trump?
You know what? We expected a person of the higher office. All of us are in some kind of top echelon. We expect a person of the higher office. Not to say that I want to on those things down there. He said it on camera. Did he say it on camera? I want to. You can grab him.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's not even that. You know what it is?
That's it. That's actually it right there.
Hey, and they're okay with it.
That goes with what we talk with the issue we dealing with today. He said he was caught on tape saying that. That's one of the issues right there.
And they're okay with it. But then remember how they did Obama? They ridiculed Obama. He ain't from the country. He ain't. And you got a president who say, "I'll do
He wore a tan brown suit and kill him."
Come on, bro.
But this is my thing. I don't even think it's as much because we can only expect him to be who he is, right? That's just what it is. The Trump supporters make people hate Trump.
Yeah.
But to what you said, we only expect him to be who he is. I think that's part of the problem too, because chronic behavior is still a behavior.
Right.
And just because it's chronic, and because there's acute and then there's chronic, and just because it's chronic, right, and it's the same behavior you expect us out of him, don't make it right. That doesn't make it that is what you're supposed to do. That's not what that makes that. And to me, I think it's already a problem, Anthony, with that January 6th. Was it? Yeah, that they were doing that because they thought they were untouchable. Why did they think that? Because their president is doing it now. He's been found guilty on 34 counts and maybe more, and then he still becomes president. What you think they go this time?
Hey, can I ask a question? If it was somebody else, woman, gay man, gay woman, or in that position, what you think that America would do?
We wouldn't have made it this
far.
They
think Kirby's doing.
Well, I'm just smiling, and I got in trouble.
So when the shoe's on the other foot, now everybody's okay, and this, oh my God, he should have made
it this far. They definitely wouldn't have made it this far if it was anybody else.
On, man. Come on. Kirby know that too. Get off of your sheet, Kirby.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Well, you know what? I like the fact we have Kirby on tonight.
No, I love it. I'm sending him some wine. I'm serious.
For the most part, all of us are pretty neutral in this situation. For the most part. And Kirby is obviously far whatever side that is. So I like that. Now it gives us a halfway decent balance.
Yeah, I love it.
So Tiffany says, I honestly don't care for Trump either way, but these people be defending Trump like they defend their daddy. He has been hiding behind his money for a long time. It's just finally been brought to light. But let's be honest, he will probably get slapped on the wrist with some fines and still be the next president. Tiffany, I appreciate your comment, and I 100% agree with you without a shadow of doubt. Many white people don't realize how racist America became during his time in office. I don't know that they realize that. That's what Dietrich, I love that comment. Kirby, speak to that comment. I'm gonna start over. Many white people don't realize how racist America became during Trump's time in office. Not saying America wasn't a racist society already, but the boldness rose to
come on.
He said it rose to a level. I think it rose to a level that's on the high of the last 60 years.
It definitely went to the red.
Yeah.
Tiffany
that's said good. Facts.
And that's not. And again, like I said, it's the Kirby. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Back that up.
I don't have statistics, but I live it. I live it every day.
Yeah, and as you know, to ask for statistics is a little can I say disrespectful? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm in trouble anyway. Yeah. So because the reason why you don't know that is because you're not in the skin we're in.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you don't get to feel it. And you don't get the feeling of making sure you have tough skin because you don't get that feeling. And so we don't have the statistics to provide for you, but you can take my word for it.
Yeah.
I think
don't give him no wine. Let's buy some natural light.
You know what? Hey, not to cut you off, I'll go ahead and say this. I'll give you an example. When we make a comment negative about Donald Trump, and then your response is negative about Diddy, that's what we're talking about.
Right.
Because that looks racial to us. You might say, no, he's a celebrity. We'll give you that. But it looks racial to us. Why Diddy? I mean, it's a whole lot of other people out there we could have said.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, Dietrich says, my life is statistics. Kirby said, are we talking about
Kirby? I think Kirby, and one thing people have to realize is
Kirby's had a bad day.
Yeah, depends. But you gotta check this out, Kirby. One thing you have to realize
is, Kirby, I love you.
Just because you're not a racist and you don't experience racism doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And a lot of times
because you don't. I'm sorry, Ace.
Go ahead.
Real quick. Just because you don't feel like you're a racist, because that's altogether different.
His favorite friend is black.
Because there's a such thing as soft racist. So we got to call it what it is. Just because you don't feel like you're a racist, that don't mean you're not a racist because you don't feel like you one.
He gonna tell you his favorite friend.
I don't feel like I'm fat, but.
And Kirby, that goes.
You can have a mixed family, Kirby. That don't mean nothing.
That goes to show what I'm saying, though, Kirby. A lot of times, because if you don't just because that's just like a lot of times I had to tell my white people I know all the time. Like when people like, you know how white folks is. We're not talking about all white people.
Right.
White folks is a term that's meant for those stuff like that. It just so happens that. So it's not incorporating that. But yeah, it's a sticky line. But I think what's happened again goes back to the man that we're talking about. When he came, those people came to the forefront. And so now race relations are at attention at an all-time high. But it's just like when we talk about comedy. You used to have racial jokes. It's fun. Listen to me. Black stereotypes and white stereotypes are hilarious when it's jokes. And when it comes from a white person who's joking and a black person who's joking. But now that everything's come to a forefront and these real racist people have came, you don't know who's joking and who's serious. And that's the problem.
I can laugh with you, but I can't laugh, while you laughing at me. That's a totally different thing. I think this is a very unique time that we're in right now. Things just seem like they're spiraling out of control. The reality is the judicial system works. It's just unfair sometimes. So are you telling me that it's working now, or are you telling me that it's unfair now? It's one of the two. So it does work, but sometimes it's unfair. It's really unfair, Zach, if you committed a crime and got 50 years, and if Kirby committed a crime and got 1. That's when it's unfair. Right. Or it's unfair when it don't even care about the facts, right? Because your skin color is black, or because your name is Emmett Till. Your name is Emmett Till. You got killed, and they don't even care who killed you. You got killed, and they know there's a white person. That's when it's unfair, but it works. It was made by the forefathers some 200 years ago. It works, but it's unfair. Now, Kirby, my question to you, is it working now, or is it unfair now? Right? Stormy Daniels said it works. All the other 34 people who on the count said it works. But to those who love Donald Trump, say it's unfair. Now, he hadn't been sentenced yet, so we don't know what the sentencing is going to be. So we can't say it's unfair just yet. Because like Zach said earlier, he's going to be the next president. So,
that means Pookie can get out of jail and run for president.
Rehabilitate himself as long as he ain't a murderer.
But here's the deal. Here's my thing is, but will they will beat that person down? We saw them go and get his whole personal history, which is supposed to do for the president. They go all the way back, and we still sit back and go, man, if somebody talked to my daughter and say, I'll grab you by the cat, bro, and I'm there.
And he didn't even say cat.
So let's go to this.
I can answer that, Kirby.
I like this comment that he put down. Okay, so why is Trump increasing his black vote as we speak? It's 17% swing. Hey, I agree with you. And I'm not even gonna go with statistics because we can't prove that. Nobody asked me what I was voting for. So that's not even a fact. I don't believe. But I will say this, Kirby. I would vote for Donald Trump over Joe Biden if I just don't like Joe Biden.
Hey, listen, Joe Biden forgave my student loans. I'll vote for him 8 more times. But Kirby, the answer to your question, Kirby, is simple. People sold their soul for them stimulus checks that he convinced them that he put his name on, convinced them that it was him, and it really wasn't even him. Kirby. That's simple. We had money.
And I think you have it wrong when you say if it was so bad, nobody said it was so bad. You got it wrong again because of what we're not saying it was so bad when Trump was the president. Nobody said that. Like nobody said that. All we said was that racist people came out. Me, Yashika, put it in caps. Yashika was happy to see that the racists are coming out, so I know who you are. Because before that, you were undercover racist. And so I appreciate that Trump became president, and now you're showing your true colors because now we see you for who you are. So if I'm going to get a bank loan, I know not to come to you. Because I'm not going to get it.
Right. You put it in caps.
He put it in all caps.
Thank you. That's because he really loves me. That's why.
He actually think you're cute, but he can't say it. It is hard.
I know.
He can't say it because it's going.
His name is dread. The dread.
That's what he really wrote. That's what he wrote.
I'll put on the wig and I might halfway pay it.
This time in America is actually crazy though, because I'm still thinking about this situation. Like this is actually a first. It's 2024 and we still have first. We have the first felony. Things like that, and to the conversation that's being had, which Anthony pointed out at the beginning, is it was a jury of peers.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you talking about for Kamala for?
It doesn't, man. Kamala would never be the damn leader.
Give the woman some respect. Her name is Kamala.
Oh,
is it?
Kamala was the wrestler back.
That's the wrestler.
Yeah, but she'll never be the leader of the.
Listen, I'm not. The thing is. This is the thing with politics. If I'm against, I'm not necessarily for, let's just say Republican, or better yet, I'm for Democrat. Doesn't mean I'm against, Republican. You got to understand that I'm for my family. Don't mean I'm against Yashikas. That's what we have to understand. I'm not necessarily for Donald Trump, but I'm not necessarily for Kamala and all that either. Right now, we're in a really tough time. And so whenever given the opportunity to bring the absolute best up, people are so enamored with, I want Donald Trump. They won't let anybody else cut through. Now we have this boy over here in Beto or whatever. He's a young cat. Nobody gives him an opportunity. What was the old Bernie Sanders? Bernie Sanders seemed like he's too old, but then we put Biden in there. Listen, Biden is only the answer to Donald Trump, and it wasn't a very good answer.
Yeah,
it wasn't a very good answer. So nobody is even arguing who, if Biden is good. I tell you what, some of these comments though, I wonder from Kirby. I wonder, let me go. I'm gonna let Zach say what he has to say. I'm gonna go back to the comments and find what I want to say.
I'm ex-military. If people think that world hasn't been split, it has. And not only that, you have to be fair, because reality is this: if that was somebody else, we'd beat him down. He's able to do whatever he wants. He's gonna be president, man. You guys are gonna vote. He's gonna be.
I can agree with that.
I can agree with that too. Now, Kirby's simmering down. Okay, Yashika, you got it. I ain't got nothing else to say, Ed. Go ahead with yours. Yashika got him simmering down.
We're in a very unfortunate situation. But let's go back to Donald Trump. So those who don't know, and if you don't know, you don't have any kind of social media or anything else. Donald Trump was convicted on all 34 counts today in New York City, and obviously been the first president to do so. But that doesn't mean anything. We'll find out a whole lot more about this in the next, 6 weeks or so. I think June 11th, or was it July 11th?
July the 11th.
July the 11th. He's going to be sentenced, and we'll find out more. Now, there's a lot of serious things that Donald Trump has to face in the coming future, both Georgia and in Florida. And don't forget, this insurrection was a big deal. All the people who love Donald Trump, I got nothing against Donald Trump. Honestly, I remember the last 2 or 3 months that he was in office. Every day, Ace, I woke up and I checked my phone to see what he said or did the day before. Every day, especially after he lost the election, it really got good at that point. It's very entertaining, and I tried to find in myself, why is it I didn't like Donald Trump? But on January 6th, it told me the insurrection, that was a Donald Trump thing. I can admit a lot of things, I can deny a lot of things, whether I like you or don't. But that was a Donald Trump situation. That was a scary moment for me, right? So anyway, Ace, I know you boiling to say something.
Oh no, this is nothing. I just, Donald Trump is kind of like that person who you kind of like, you kind of like, you don't mind they come over your house, but he got some badass kids, so you like, nah, you can't come because his kids is bad, And it's not this, like I say, it's the followers and not people, not all, but it's those followers, those January 6th followers. It's those followers who see somebody there and attack somebody.
Listen, I'm sorry, Ace.
Oh, you good?
Here's where I got a problem. Again, I fought for this country. At the end of the day, when you're able to move voting booths to swamps, you telling me just to make sure that you get elected, you telling me there ain't a problem? And then you get convicted on all this, and you're telling me there's not a problem, and you're the highest person in the land that we're supposed to respect.
That's cool. That's good.
Well, the thing is, Kirby, Trump is the kind of person that will start World War III.
The thing is, Trump would not, the class level of Donald Trump would never be in politics during the time of World War II. In 1949, 48, 1917, and World War I, Donald Trump would never be the president. Never. His class level would never allow him to be the president. So, I think he would be the one. I'm with you, Ace. Come on, Zach. Well, all the election interference, fake mail. There's no fake
Kirby.
Mail.
Kirby.
You got to reach for stuff. I mean, let's be real. We're trying to be neutral to a certain point.
And Kirby knows
the word fake is not even a real word when it comes out of the mouth.
And Kirby ain't gonna be the one who's gonna go fight for World War II. Kirby gonna be right there with his wife holding her. I hope they do this right.
Teresa Nelson said he's a businessman that admits he does not pay taxes, but we do. You know what? I love that comment, and I love that comment paired with what Kirby said earlier. Kirby said he's a businessman instead of a politician, so he's seen as a threat. And Teresa says this businessman that.
And I agree with both.
This is why I love that. It's because Donald Trump did not do anything as a businessman to help the economy of the country or nothing. Kirby's going to say, and I'm sure other Donald Trump followers, that the economy was great. Well, the economy was great with Obama, too. When Obama handed it over, it was great. Can we at least admit to that? So what did he do as a businessman that's beneficial to the country? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What it sounds like to me, what I take from, like, I'm reading, because I'm looking down because I'm reading what he's saying, because the comments is comments, so you're not able to catch them all. But one thing that what I would say is what some of the things that he's saying, Kirby is saying, is exactly what Trump just said when you showed the clip. Everything's fake. It was rigged. Everything. When do you take responsibility for something? Do you hold him Kirby? Do you hold him accountable for anything, or he's just Jesus? And we know Jesus didn't have no sins, right? So is he Jesus, or do we hold him some kind of accountability? Because not one time thus far, and I'm reading, that I've seen you hold him accountable for anything. He's got to be held accountable for something. Don't you hold your kids accountable? Don't you hold yourself accountable? Don't y'all hold people accountable for what they do? Like, we're all in positions to where we're over somebody. Don't you hold them accountable? My employees accountable? Like, you have to hold people, and I need to be held accountable for something I do or say, you know? So.
But I think that's the ideal of Donald Trump. No one holds him accountable.
Correct.
When you go I've seen times when they do these, not really a prank, but they'll go to these, they'll go to these rallies and they'll ask these questions. Do you think this is wrong and this is wrong? They're like, yeah, that's wrong, thinking that Biden did it. But then when they reveal it's Trump, what they do, they go and give an excuse. So my question is, like, does Donald Trump ever make a mistake? Because I've never heard his mistake. And don't get me wrong, again, from a neutral party, because I haven't decided who to vote.
Yeah, his poop don't even smell. His poop don't even smell.
One side.
You can't have a weaponized government fighting for one side of party legislation and law. Y'all need for Fox.
Don't forget Dietrich, Anthony.
What did Dietrich? What are the statistics? or the real statistics for that curve? Dietrich also says that part, those videos are hilarious. They switch up. Yeah, they do, Dietrich. It's funny. What they do is they'll say, okay, it's kind of like, do y'all know anything about the Bible? And the Bible, gosh, T, if you would tell me who it was. I forgot who it was.
It's a very fine book. I read it all the time.
They went to David and said, David, and they started telling David of all his faults. You were, this man, let me tell you about this man. He found this woman. He slept with this woman. He had her husband killed on the front line, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, let's kill that man. They were like, David, I'm talking about you. Yeah. Right? So this is Trump. They say all these things about Trump. Don't get me wrong. Or we go the opposite way and say, well, what did Biden do? Biden is, trust me, this old senile individual. Biden fans on this.
That man forgave my student loans. He's the best president ever in the history of the United States of America.
Listen,
bar
if
none.
I went to college for as long as Ace did, racking up as much as Ace did, I'd be thankful too. What's your address? We hanging out.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Y'all gonna get y'all kicked out of whatever restaurant y'all go to.
We're probably gonna be. It's gonna be on fisticuffs before the end of the night. But in the beginning, we're gonna be cordial.
You better have Wiley police with you.
Your student loans.
But that's the problem. Your student loans over.
The country has. Well, Kirby, you got to think. I'm joking about that, but the 17% black votes when you talk about, the same way I said Biden paid off my student loans. All the black folks talk about is Trump gave me them stimulus checks. It's the same thing.
And Kirby got one too. Kirby got a stimulus check.
But that 17% swing is not because people like. Listen, we didn't bring. I say we because I voted for Biden. We didn't bring Biden in because we liked Biden. We brought him in to get rid of Trump. Right. And now you got a 17% swing because now after 4 years, we knew it from the beginning, but he was a moron. And unfortunately, the only other thing we do have is Trump. If you put me in to run against Biden, I'm pretty sure they're going to put me in. So that swing is not something to brag about. Right. Obama gave out cell phones.
Obama. Tablets. Don't forget the tablets.
Yeah, we don't consider Obama like this. Obama is just a milestone, the first black president. So what Obama represented was the country moving forward. Obama gave hope. Now you right about Kirby. You right about that. Obama was hope. Obama was a symbol of hope. What Obama did for us, Kirby, is something that Black Americans were never able to do in the history of America until that moment. We have never been able to look at our child and honestly tell them you can be whatever you want to be.
Right.
We've never been able to honestly tell them that until Obama was elected. When Obama was elected, that's the first time we could look at our kids in all honesty and say, you can be whatever you want to be. That's what Obama represented. We know he was in our, we know he was handing out. Obama was a, how can I say it? It wasn't a circus show or anything like that. I mean, he's a smart guy and president, but you know, they got somebody in who they wanted and things like that. He's still a politician like everybody else.
Well, you know what? I would disagree with Ace on that. I would say we can't. The era of sophisticated presidential presidents,
George Bush,
it ended with Clinton, I would say. However, I say we skipped over Bush. Bush was just as moronic as I feel like Donald Trump is.
I like him though; he gangster.
But then after Bush left office, we got Obama. Obama, to me, regained the presidential. Plus, we had 8 years of Bush, and the economy was in trash from day one. Remember, 9/11 happened like 8 months later, so it was in trash for 8 years, and then Obama pulled us right out of that. And then, let's be honest, Trump inherited that. So. And when I think about Obama, I think he was excellent for the United States. He was excellent for the world because he was African. He was excellent for the world. The unfortunate part about him, and I'm about to say something very controversial, in my own opinion, once he started allowing people to get married that were of the same sex, I think that's the one thing he did that kind of was the opposite of what a lot of us would agree. I'm not trying to make anything controversial, but to me, that was the one thing that he certainly did. Now, of course, Republicans definitely would agree with me on that. And then somehow Hillary Clinton dropped the ball. I don't know if she dropped the ball or we as Democrats putting her in dropped the ball.
Nah, man, it's called
trying to put her in.
So how come we can't go back and say the election was rigged when she lost? We didn't say that.
Yeah, well,
you know what I think about like things is now. So the Republican Party ideology is really, I'm not too far away from the Republican Party ideology. But the problem is with the Republican Party is it's like we all sick and they have the remedy that's gonna help us, but you got a man in a Ku Klux Klan uniform handing out the remedy. So it's like, nah, never mind, I don't want it. That's the problem with the Republican Party. Not saying all Republicans are like that, but it's like the ideology gets overshadowed by the actions of the members.
But listen. One thing we can say is
that's a good analogy.
One thing we can say is no more Klan suits. It's polo shirts.
Yeah, true.
It's polo shirts, and we all. I've been there when I went to Wiley. I got introduced to Wiley. They let me know I was not welcome there at some point. You know, you're gonna call some people. When he was there, it was able to say, you know, it's aggressive. Our president ain't supposed to make us all aggressive and divided. It's gonna be divided because of what you Republican or Democrat, but we really got divided, white and black. And I don't care what nobody says. Look back at it. We were divided, white and black.
Well, I think the division started with when after Clinton left, and then it was up to Al Gore and George Bush. That's when it started, because that's when they started saying they cheated in Florida and all that stuff. It became Republican versus Democrat. But first, at one point, we'd lose, and then we, if the economy was great, we were cool with it. People would switch and go back and forth. And it wasn't just I'm a staunch. A lot of people were. Don't get me wrong. I'm a staunch Republican. I'm a staunch Democrat. The middle, it wasn't far left, far right. We were all close to the middle, trying to figure out who the best candidate was, I believe. And usually it's based on our pockets. Based on this Republican is more about this, that, and the other. So my pockets, I get it. But I think as time moved on, then we started getting more and more divided, especially when Obama was in office. To this day, I don't know for the life of me how Obama got in office. I think a lot of black people voted, but if every single black person in America, including kids, voted, we didn't have enough black votes to put him in. So I still don't know how Obama was elected. That still shocks me to this very day. And so then at that moment, and then twice at that. So but I guess the economy, and I guess maybe who he was running against, I don't know. But at that moment, I think that's the moment that the country started dividing. Even though we put him in, and we know it's white people who put him in because it's not enough of us. Right. That's when we started dividing. And then Trump came in with an already divided country. And then he started making it. He was already a racial guy. Let me say this too before I forget. We don't vote on our president. I mean, we don't have pop culture icons based on if they're racist or not. Now, if they make an outwardly racist comment, then we probably won't support them as black people. But if you're a racist guy, we don't really care. We're just going to buy your shoes. We're going to go to your Trump Towers. We're going to do all these things. We don't really care about that. But once you run for president, we dig a little deeper. See? And so Donald Trump's name rhymed with a lot of stuff. Trump, whatever, in rap music, it worked. Right? It was synonymous with money. It worked. We can use him all day. It works. But the moment he got to represent me, and I don't know if he's going to represent me fairly, I'm not sure if it's going to work the same. So that's why we were so in love with Donald Trump prior to this time. Not to mention, he is the one who said that Obama was not illegal. He is the one who kept looking for his birth certificate and all this stuff. So he did it to himself, to the black public. So now that you see a 17% swing, it is not because we now starting to say, oh, he's the answer. It's only because we starting to say when we voted for it's not.
That's good. Come on.
Let's go to the comments.
Talk to
all of this simply goes down to this, which media and news you watch and narrative behind their broadcast. Media controls. I would agree with you on that, Kirby. I won't even finish.
That's why I don't watch now.
Don't finish reading that because it's the same news that Kirby's watching.
Exactly. I mean, we all watch the media, but we have our opinion. See, there's a feeling that goes with everything. It's not just what I see and hear. I also feel stuff, And anyway,
let's send Kirby a shot of Jägermeister.
Teresa says, Kirby Morton, it's not the media. See, that's exactly. If in fact, it looks like the facts. Trump has shown us who he is. He's grabbed them by the you know what. I mean, he said it. We heard him say that. That's our president. Policy dictates votes, what you pay for gas, how safe you feel, etc. Would dictate leadership. Okay, it's because we have young generations that's so far from slavery, so far from the 70s, etc. Hey, Dietrich, man, I was born in the 70s.
Dietrich.
You was at the 40s. This generation today, they are different. They're not going with the flow of everyone else. And I know a lot of Obama votes were from young people. There we go. And then Kirby says, I actually have MSNBC on right now, Zach. You're right. Media controls the narrative. That's why the whites are called nationalists and blacks terrorists. Wow. Hey, that's a huge point. That's a huge point.
Well,
I saw something today that said, I'll let you talk. I know I'm taking over. I saw something today that said, you don't want us to protest with bombs and you don't want us to break windows and all that stuff. But when we kneel, you don't want us to protest like that. But when we march, you don't want us to protest like that. Yeah. We put a fist up. You don't want us to protest like that. You know who tells us how not to protest is the media. The media is covering everything and making the fact that Colin Kaepernick sit down and say, hey, look, they're treating us unfairly in the streets wrong. That's the media doing that. And that's what you, Kirby, believe in it. Says when you put more presidents on vulgar words rather than the stability of the country, we're in deep trouble.
Not the vulgar words.
Now let me go back. Now let's take it back. When do you hold him accountable? What you just said makes no sense to me because when are we holding him accountable? So our kids are watching him. He's going to be that people look up to this person. So you're okay with your president, everybody's president, talking and acting like that. So your kids can do that. Your son can go and grab you know what, and it's cool because the president does it. That's what I'm telling you. We have to, and to me as a female, I wish you would.
Man, and I promise you, Kirby's son grabbed my daughter by the Kirby. You got a long night, bro. your son grabbed my daughter by the Kirby. I put this on my kids.
But check this out. Can we start using? Because I know we can't use the word that he used, but word I ain't heard in a long time. Can we say crouch? That word just makes me laugh.
The word.
Okay. Kirby says, accountable for bad words, seriously, rather than we're the leader of the free world, I take words over freedom and rights and financial stability. Teresa Nelson says he is not held accountable for anything. That's the problem.
That's right.
And that is Teresa. The problem.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the problem. Like, to me, it's not, is he bad or is he good? Or if I'm with him, if I'm not, I think we need to be able to hold each other. Everybody should be held accountable no matter who they are. And like I'm hearing you, Kirby, and I hear the back and forth. I know how Trump supporters are. You can't I can keep hitting this wall. And as many times as I hit it, I'm not going to be able to get through it. So I'm cool with that. However you feel is how you feel. But I'm still standing on, we have to hold everybody accountable, each other. And that includes him. He's not God. We have to hold everybody accountable no matter what you say. And I'm ready to go have a drink.
You know what? My feeling towards, I'm a devout Christian.
Okay.
I'm a devout. I don't know how he relates to this.
Well, he was supposed to come back a couple of years ago, and all them people was in Dallas waiting on it.
Read Teresa.
She said, "JFK boy, bye." I don't know.
But
listen, I am a devout Christian. If somebody come here now and say something to me about Jesus Christ, I'll die. I'm not gonna deny Jesus Christ. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna go to heaven and spend my life in eternity. That I'm devout about that. Unfortunately, I see a lot of Trumpsters, and I'm not putting race or color to this. I'm talking about people who love Donald Trump, and the way that Kirby is supporting him feel the same way about Trump as I do about Jesus. To me, that's scary. That is scary because I lived my whole life just walking around and trying to listen to Jesus, reading the Bible script. You know, it's all Jesus for me all the time.
Yeah,
that's how they are with Donald Trump. The moment you say something,
I agree.
That is scary and very dangerous.
It is
the Lord of the Flies effect too.
We were proud of Obama, but we wasn't devout about Obama.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I ain't storming no Capitol for Obama's ass. I tell you that.
Dietrich says Curb. I love it. He gave him a nickname.
I love that.
Hey, we all friends now. We all friends. Curb, it's also because you're a person of entitlement. You will never understand the power of words and how they can shape minds, lives, and our society. Kirby says, "Okay, agreed. Let's go, Yash." Oh, yeah.
Yes. He said, "Can I call you Yash now?"
Can I call you Yash
believe
now?
you can.
Yeah, KB, Curb. What's up?
I like Curb too. I like Curb. That's nice.
And this is but you know what? You know what's funny about tonight though is Curb is voicing his point of view, voicing our point of view, and things like that. If America did this instead of all the BS that goes on, we wouldn't have all the other stuff, going on. We would have you can have unity even in disagreement on certain subjects. You can still have unity. And I think, and I'm like I said, like Gusta said earlier, I'm glad Kirby's on this show. And I'm glad because he give his opinion, we give our opinion, stuff like that. The problem is, exactly, Kirby. But the problem is those other fools who don't voice opinions back and forth. The problem is those fools who act a fool about things. That's the problem. I go back to it's the supporters. And I shouldn't say I guess supporters because I'm not talking about everybody, but it's those. And we know who those are, and that's the problem. That's where the problem comes in.
Yeah. We got to be able to agree to disagree. You know what I mean? Just because what you say don't make it right.
Yeah, and vice versa. Yeah,
Curb. You get a virgin margarita, Curb.
He don't need no help.
He don't need nothing.
He wants that top shelf.
Hey, Trump said he gonna have in the morning. He having the press conference in the atrium of Trump Towers.
Curb gonna be there. Hey, Curb, like, share, and subscribe, and tell your people to like, share, and subscribe, and come on back and let's have a conversation so we can get, everybody's opinion is okay. Curb.
Like I said, in 4 years, I guess, in 4 years, this won't even be a topic no more because Biden won't be able to do anything, and Trump's time will be over. I'm interested in seeing that America and seeing the after effects. The after effects of Biden. I think Biden has ruined it for anybody that has a little age on them, that people kind of I think Biden has ruined that for that next person. Trump says, I think he's changed things.
I also respect your opinion, but there are some things from our perspective that you won't understand, just like I can never understand your world. Yeah, we would love
That's
to
good.
I think a good analogy of understanding the white world from a black perspective is in your own home. And that's it. The second you leave your own home, even at the second you step outside, the game changes. But when you're in your own home, you have ownership, you have privilege, you have all these things.
Different. Yeah.
And that's the only way that we can.
I tell my kids all the time, I love you, but the world don't. And when you step out of this house, the world don't see you like I do.
Right.
I tell my kids that every day because I need them to get it. Because as soon as you leave here, it's different. When you walk out of this door, it's completely different. It's not what you think it is.
And it's proven every day. For every all police are not bad police. That's a fact. I have tons. You go to my Facebook friends page. I have homicide investigator friends. I have retired detective friends. I have current homicide investigator. I mean, I've tons of police. So all police aren't bad, but it's those bad apples that you never know what you're gonna get. It's like the surprise in the Cracker Jack bottle. You get pulled over. Hey, this is a good guy. This guy's justice. You know what? I was going 12 miles over the speed limit. He gonna write me this ticket. But it's also that one who he don't really care about how fast I was going over the speed limit. Right. He want to have some fun. Like the guy that just made the guy lick his urine, or the police that abuse the guys and rape them.
You're going pretty good, but you know, sometimes you gotta know this is the line, and when you cross, they cross
the line.
Dietrich says not even in the house. I think he meant. He said they will kill you in your own home. Yeah, we got that here in Dallas over at
that happened here. Yeah.
Both and John.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, you know,
we should get out here shortly.
You know what's interesting is we're having a conversation about Donald Trump being found guilty on some stuff he did. It wasn't racial stuff he did. I don't guess. I mean, stuff dealing with Stormy Daniels and all those things. But as 4 black people get together, the first thing we start talking about is racism when it comes to Donald Trump. And it's not even really a case of racism.
I don't think so. No,
it's a case of other stuff, but that unfortunately is the energy that he brings to us. And not even him. I think maybe even Kirby has a part in that. No offense, Kirby. But maybe
and just real quick, I don't think Donald Trump gave us the platform. He told y'all, and the people took off with it. We saw it coming. When he got him, we already knew America was dividing. America started dividing. We saw it coming, and now you get 2 people. We, like you just said, Kurt. We can't even have a conversation without the, oh no, he ain't did. But if that was Obama, man, Obama been dead.
Yeah.
But I think we've always been divided since.
Yeah. It just came out.
I just think, like I said, when Trump came out, so did a lot of undercovers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
A lot of undercovers came out, but which would you rather have? For real.
I don't respect the undercovers. I like those outward ones.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I love the bald head guy with the swastika tattooed on his head. Hey, okay, I know what he's about. I don't like the one.
Yeah. And he's telling you what he's about. He's telling you, say, look, no. It's the ones who buy you
cubicle like this typing. If I get the chance out.
Yeah, it's the ones who's gonna buy you and hire you on, and knowing meanwhile he's talking about you, knowing damn well he don't care about you.
Kirby says, go ahead.
No, I was just getting ready to say, I think we turned to a racist thing because the very first thing that we read that the comment was about Diddy. And so you put a black and white against each other. And I think that's what turned it more to racism from the jump, from the start of this podcast, is because that's the first comment that came. Diddy was in it, which one has nothing to do with the other. Nothing.
Okay, Kirby has a response to that. He said, okay, got to throw this in all conservative Republicans in my conservative Republicans. That's 2 words. All right. And I have an ultra liberal family. So his friends, his circle is conservative Republic, but his family is liberal. I've never one time heard anyone of that group say Trump is a racist.
Congratulations.
Can I speak on that?
I'm happy for you. Today. Hey, on the other foot. I agree with you on that one, too.
Hey, Ed, you know why? Because they don't want to argue with Kirby like we're doing right now.
Because Kirby got that.
That's why. They don't even say nothing.
Yo, his name is Curb now.
Curb.
Dwayne DG, we're going to call him DG. Gordon, he says, always about the whataboutism. I'm not going to call him a racist or not. I don't know. I tell you what, though, I'll say this. You know why black people love, I got to give a secret out. We always say, don't be telling our, I'm gonna give a secret. Black people love vengeance. We love that immediate gratification. We don't like Donald Trump. We don't like a lot of the things he has done. The insurrection, and we can go through a list of other things. Not to mention the Central Park 5, now the exonerated 5. To see Donald Trump get this stuff makes us feel good because we know he has done so many bad things over the years. I don't care if you think he's a racist or not. Forget race. Take that out of the picture. Donald Trump is not a good guy. Let's be real. He may be he's a shrewd politician. He's a shrewd businessman. All those things. But he's not a good guy.
And I didn't like his role in Home Alone Part 1. I tell you, I put that on the books.
He looked at the camera too long. I agree with you. He looked back at Macaulay Culkin for like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, we recognize this you. Keep going. Yeah. But anyway, he's a shrewd guy. He's a terrible guy. And now we feel like his chickens are coming home to roost, just like what Malcolm X said about JFK.
Hey, Brother Malcolm got in trouble for that now. You can't say that.
Maybe. Love you guys. Love you too.
Hey, Curb. We love you, Curb.
Trump, because he's speaking for the minority. I don't believe I am. I'm speaking for minorities. I'll take that, but not the minority. I don't believe that.
Hey, the real question before we get off, I got to get this question. We missing the point of this whole thing. So the question that everybody have to answer, Kirby and people that think like Kirby, us people think like us, what is Stormy Daniels working with for all this to be over her? We need to be talking to her.
We need to ask her.
She might be holding on to the real Pandora's box. I'm sorry, you got to think about that.
I'm trying to think about it.
This is all over her.
Yeah,
really, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we didn't intend on doing this, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Hey, yo, who we got on this show next week?
We're going to have a great group on. We're actually going to be interviewing gay men who put S on the end of everything they say. And we're just going to be asking, is it just gay or are they living in abundance? Nursing mothers with nipple piercings. We just going to let them know that's not the source of iron the doctor was talking. But we got a lot of money. Auto mechanics with clean hands, and we can ask them what the hell you been doing all day. I like men's cockeyed dodgeball players. And the name of the show will be Nature's Cheat Code. Ballerinas who suffer from ingrown toenails. And the name of the show gonna be No Pain, No Gain. Midgets that are applying for the police department. And we're gonna name the show gonna be Standing Tall for Justice.
Yeah.
You see? I'm gonna do you like dudes in the hood. I'm like, we ain't scared of you. Come on, Zach, let's get it.
Oh, man.
Y'all didn't expect that. Ace, I hope you're ready. Tonight was a pop-up show. Hey, look, join us next Wednesday. Wednesday night, we have Chad Henley on with his book, Bully Me. And along with some few other people, we're talking about bullying in today's society. Kirby, hopefully you didn't think we bullied you tonight. And hopefully they don't feel bullied, or I don't. But anyway, Yashika, it's on you.
Kirby, I feel a little bullied. I think you got me from the start. You put my whole name in caps. You was mad because I smiled. And I'm told that people like my smile. It's not you, Kirby. And that's cool. We'll see how you feel after that. You get a couple of shots of Jägermeister. Hey, yo, Ace. Who we got on the show next week?
I appreciate you asking that. Yashika. Actually, I went out in the streets and interviewed some people today. So we're actually going to be talking. Made some calls and things like that. So we're actually going to be talking to potential Trump cellmates that are waiting for the opportunity, asking why. And they were just saying that's probably the only chance they ever going to have to get orange booty.
This dude here. This dude here.
I didn't get it, but that's okay. We caught him off guard.
Yeah.
Orange booty, orange.
You can't expect for people to be on all the time.
Great show.
This has been great, y'all. Kirby, Dietrich, Teresa, thank y'all so much.
Yes.
So much.
Thank you to Kirby and Teresa and everybody that was coming. Peace.
Sometimes you got to go look at yourself and go, I'm ready to relinquish this.
I'm one of them people, hey, you got to give a man a day in court.
The underlining of all of it is authenticity, right?
She's making them money, so they gonna put the camera on her because she's paid.
I think the prize is the other person. We have not integrated in the United States. Start buying some of the things that we have to offer.